I was just like,
don't be drunk. There's too many things in that situation that need you to be as present as possible. Like, and also as we're saying, let's say if it's a situation where it's like you feel like someone is coming too much, that your boundaries are being disrespected. You're drunk. You're drunk. There's too many things going on.
Hi guys, Murugi Muni here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between. It's definitely TMI. I'm not giving you the mama's hug.
Why?
High five.
Why?
Mom, she says my high fives are Mama
Yeah,
Boga.
she's like, if you have to lean back, it's definitely Mama Boga.
But guess what? Isn't that what makes it sweet?
It is.
It is.
Yeah,
you
it
have
is.
to.
And the mouth has to be like,
That's it. That's how
the
you
one.
know.
And those are the vibes. Those are the vibes. Welcome, guys, to another episode of TMI Podcast. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, you are going to enjoy. I can already tell you are going to enjoy. If it's not your first time, we know you're already subscribed, so we won't even tell you to subscribe. We won't even tell you because the day that we decide, we can decide to put TMI on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
If we put on OnlyFans, then the ones who have subscribed, then we just tell you we are giving you just for free. But the rest of you, anyway, please subscribe, guys. We absolutely appreciate when you do. It really validates our work. It tells us who is here. It helps us with our statistics. We're able to be like, okay, 80% of them are men. This number of people are commenting. It just gives us some juice. And also follow us on our Instagram and TikTok and other platforms. TMI Podcast KE, Lydia KM, Murugi Muni.
Boom.
Boom.
Love that.
Damn. I like your monochrome outfit.
Oh yeah. This is it, guys.
Monochrome.
I'm really staying on brand.
You're so on brand.
I am.
Yeah.
So that if you come to our TMI live experience on the 29th of July and you're wearing a blue top and green pants, we're going to know that you intentionally ignored the vibe.
And me, I wore this so that you could see like that's monochrome. This is not monochrome.
This is not what we are going for.
You need to be the same color, top to bottom.
And guess what, guys? Imagine all of us coming in on theme. Look how are the pictures going to be.
A beautiful rainbow. It's gonna be so
perfect.
It's gonna be perfect, guys.
Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it?
Please.
There's absolutely no reason. Yeah. So if you're like, what did we just talk about? We are having a live experience, our second one since we've been having TMI on the 29th of July. It is going to be from 12 p.m. onwards. We're going to have a live experience. We're going to have games. We're going to have giveaways. It's going to be fun. If you do not show up this time and then the next day you're telling us, oh no, please have more tickets. We've been doing this for a month.
Exactly.
For a month.
Tickets are limited. So once they sell out, we won't be able to we have a secret stash of tickets. We actually do not have that.
Even our own people. If it sells beyond, there's nothing we can do. So make sure you are there. And the link is going to be on pretty much all our episodes.
Everywhere.
Until the day of the event.
Exactly.
So, I'm looking forward to that.
I am so looking forward to it.
I feel like we know what we are doing more. I feel like last year it's like it was still very new.
It did,
But now it's just like we know the in-betweeners, we know what they're about, we know the kind of topics that they really want to do.
Exactly.
Like I just feel so confident and excited about
it. Me too, and I feel like we've developed more of a relationship with you guys. So now it kind of feels like we are meeting more friends as opposed to like we don't really know you guys. We've never seen you. How is it gonna be? Like, first time we were just like, wait. So us we're just excited about, are they excited?
Are they going to be?
Yeah. But this time it's just like, we know what it's like to be in the community of you guys. So we're just so excited to meet you. Buy your ticket on Hustle Sasa. We can't wait to see you.
Every time we hit a milestone, you guys always message us like, we hit 100K. We did this. And it just that's the kind of connection that we're talking about.
I love that so much.
Yeah. Over the last few episodes, we've been talking about sex. And actually this TMI turned 2 on Saturday. So happy birthday. Happy second
TMI,
birthday.
Mama Boga, I love you.
We turned 2 on Saturday, and I think we've talked about sex quite a bit on this podcast. But what we've never really talked about is how to prepare for sex. And some of you actually I knew the sex was great when a lot of you did say like, I have never had sex. Like, can you have a conversation about people who have never had sex and what to prepare, what to expect for your first time? So your wish is our what? It's our command.
And
so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Things to expect on your first time having sex.
Exactly.
Do you remember
your first things to expect or things to prepare?
things to prepare and to expect.
Yeah, and to prepare and to expect.
Yes,
Yeah.
how to prepare and what to expect.
Yeah.
What do you remember your first time?
I do. It was
Yeah.
with a random guy who I had just met. It was outside a club on the side of a car.
Mhm.
Literally never seen that man again. Or maybe I have, but I literally don't know what he looks like because I was dead ass drunk.
Really?
So that was my first
Which club was this at 15?
Pavement. It was called Pavement. I don't think it exists anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
It was
I
in
used to go and
Westlands.
turn up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 16. I had sex with this like super attractive guy who was otherwise one of the many links of like someone who I knew, well, kind of pretty much a friend, to be honest. And then he came to my house. And it was random because I was like, why are you here? Like, we would never hang out together,
Yeah.
right? But he was just kind of like, okay, he was in the area or whatever. I don't even know how I didn't see that this was going to lead to sex, honestly. But we had all hung out like a few times before, so there was some rapport. And then, yeah, we're just chilling. And then we had sex. Like, his dick was really big.
That was your mom.
She wasn't there, obviously.
Oh.
Yeah. God, I hope she doesn't watch this.
Wait,
Mom,
so you had
skip
it's not
this.
even actually something you had planned or
No,
something?
it wasn't. Not at
Oh.
all.
And so why did you feel like this one is like you felt the freedom to do it? Because I'm sure you had opportunity to have sex before, but like you hadn't done
Funny
it.
enough, I don't know.
No, really.
I have no idea. But it was just like a calmness. Like, it was just a calmness about the vibe, because I feel like when someone is trying to get you to do something, you automatically don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I've always hated that feeling of feeling like you are here solely just to do
to
this.
get me to do
Pretend
this. Yeah.
I want you to lie.
Yeah.
So he was just kind of chilling. Of course, he was there to just have sex.
Yeah.
But he was just more chilled about it. So the conversation was just chilled. We just talked or whatever, but there was a lot of manipulation. So I was 16. I think he was like maybe like 23 or something like that. Yep. So I can see how he was super manipulated,
Yeah.
because we should have never even been vibing or anything like that. Like, it was just like, why were we even doing this? I think I was vibing his friend and he was vibing my friend. It was just hectic. Like,
So did you have sex again after that?
okay, so no,
Oh.
but it's because he went to prison.
He went to prison. Wait, what?
Actually, he went to prison on the way to see.
How? What? Please, I've never had this
When
story
I
before.
told you I was going through a bad boy phase, it wasn't like bad boys like, oh, you have bad boy energy. I mean, I'm talking about criminals.
Literal bad boys according to the government.
According to the government,
they are bad boys.
Criminals.
Oh, no.
That was my vibe. And I guess because I was like such a goody two shoes, like
Yeah.
going to school, doing well in school, like I was just kind of super sheltered. So the minute I was exposed to like this kind of like
my.
people who do what they want, and there was something so thrilling about that. So yeah, that's why.
Wait, so why did he go to prison? I hope it was not
robbery.
what? Not even like DUI, because I thought you'd say like DUI.
That's not like, that's a criminal, but like accidental criminal,
so he
I guess.
was like locked up.
Yeah, I think that was like one of his first birthdays to be out, to be out of prison.
Okay, I mean, talk about red flags.
Oh
He's
no! And then there
33,
was
he
like
shows up randomly.
there were so many other guys who are kind of like that. Yeah,
Oh, Lydia.
I know. I was going
Oh,
through it. Then
Lydia.
I go the next day. I go to college. I just do my
You
work.
did your
And
thing.
then
After having sex
At
with
night.
criminals. After having sex with criminals, my God. Okay. So in terms of like the experience of how the sex felt, like physically, do you
I
remember that?
remember. I can feel it in my body right this minute.
Me
and,
too.
And it
Me
was
too.
just, it was too much. As I said, he was like pretty well endowed, and it just was like really intense. I felt very confused about the whole experience. I feel like I didn't know what I was doing. It's like all of it was just like all over the place. I'm not even
Yeah.
sure if I wanted to do it.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
can't
you
tell.
wanted to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
but
can't
probably it was
tell.
just like, again, that manipulation.
Yeah, it's just kind
He
of.
had no business being there with a 16-year-old.
But in England, the legal age is 16.
ooh.
Yeah. So it's not like illegal, because everyone
Okay,
finishes high school at
fine.
16. We are all having sex at 16.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
But yeah.
I remember my first time. I just remember there was pain
Yeah.
for sure. I
Do you know
remember
how old
there
he
being.
was?
No, I have no idea. No, nothing.
Did he
about
look
this
like
man.
your age?
He looked like early 20s, maybe.
Oh, and you are 15.
I was
in this
indeed
country.
15.
That's
in
18.
This same one. This same one. He looked like he was early 20s, and I just remember feeling pain. I remember feeling discomfort throughout it. Also, we were on the ground. So, and on the side of a car. So I feel like that definitely aided.
Lead on the ground.
So we are on the ground, but like I'm against the car. So the car is behind me. And it's like this. And my legs were up in the air.
So your head is where?
It's like against the car. So kind of like So kind of like this, kind of. It was giving kind of like handicapped or something like that. It was not cute. It was not cute.
God.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah,
Actually,
I remember feeling a lot of discomfort. Also, I remember there was like a big plunge of water. Like there was like a.
Was it on a bed? Were you on a bed?
Where I was on
Oh,
the
okay,
bed.
fine.
So if
I
it
can't
felt,
remember if I felt. Yeah.
and it was super wet.
Oh.
There, like after that, is that what's the thing?
Hymen.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
But also, the virginity is it's a bit of a construct.
It's a bit of a
So it's
construct
just
for
like
sure,
we don't
yeah.
want to put things out there about like can someone know Sijui what? But yeah, that happened.
I feel like I
yeah,
feel like
I didn't
definitely-
bleed.
I can't remember if I bled or not. I really can't remember. But after I had that first sexual experience, I didn't have sex again for like 2-3 years. Actually, I think like 3 years until like much later on. And that next time felt just as painful as the first time.
Oh, right. I guess so because you
Yeah.
haven't had.
Yeah.
So after that, first of all, I was just like, is that sex? But there was a point where it felt like pain, and then it felt nice.
Oh,
yeah.
In that first experience.
In that first experience, like I remember there was like pain initially, and then there was a point where it just started to feel nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Oh, no,
remember.
I didn't have
the
any
body
nice
remembers.
feelings.
The body remembers. Yeah, I remember there
Lady
was
and
like
her criminal.
a niceness, but because
Yeah.
it was like just too much, I was like, okay, I can't. Like
Yeah.
he didn't even finish.
I don't think I even moved like when it was
Yeah.
happening. I think I was just there like maybe like at the point of entry I was just like or something like that. But I don't think I moved throughout the whole experience. For
Funny
sure.
enough, he was actually very gentle, like very kind of take your time and like, are you okay? Like, that bit is like, it was fine.
That's
The
great
next
for a
time I had
criminal.
sex was
Great for a criminal.
great for a criminal. The next time I had sex, I don't think it was too long. Oh no, was it too? No, it wasn't too long after that. I don't think. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So based off of our experiences,
These are things not to
these are
do
things not to do. Definitely don't do it on the side on the side of a car outside a club.
with a criminal.
Would not with a criminal. Don't do
Try
that.
to do that.
For sure.
Yeah, don't do it when you don't know or like you're confused about like what's happening.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? Actually, there's a guy who I should have had that
First sexual experience.
Yes,
with.
and I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah.
He was hot as well.
Oh damn! Wherever you are, and if you're watching this, it was a mistake. She didn't mean to do it. He was an armed robber. She was scared. But yeah, I definitely feel like when you're younger versus if you break your virginity later in life, or let's not even use the phrase "break your virginity." Let's use the phrase "have sex for the first time."
First time.
So if you have sex for the first time later in life, I feel like you're definitely in a more mental position to make to do these things that we're about to tell you, like the things that you should do.
For
I feel like when you're younger and it's more of like it's peer pressure, everyone is having sex.
Yeah, you have no
all
idea
these
what
things.
you're
You have
doing.
exactly, and it's just kind of like, okay, fine, let me just do it. But hopefully you are at the point at which you're watching this, if you haven't had sex yet, hopefully this episode will change your first experience so that it's not like ours.
Yes, definitely.
We don't
For
want
me,
it
the
to be.
person is the one which I would change
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Really?
It itself wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love
He was
to hear
hot, though.
from that counts for something. A hot criminal. I would love to hear from someone who had a very pleasant first sexual experience, because
Like
I
with a
don't feel like
loving
I've heard that many. Yeah,
boyfriend.
a loving boyfriend, the bed set up nicely, maybe roses,
Aggie did.
chocolate. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
she did.
You walked so she
Could run.
Go Aggie. Go Aggie.
Yeah, and
Good
also
for
she
you.
waited a lot longer, as you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely the longer you wait, the better. Also, I feel like I don't know if it's still happening right now, but there's a point at which it changed from like if you've had sex already and you're like below 20, it was like weird. But like now I feel like everybody has had sex, such that if you even get to 20 and you're still a virgin, then
What
it's
a
kind of
weirdo.
strange.
What a
Exactly.
weirdo, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's because like our culture is just so sexualized,
Yeah,
right? And there's
absolutely.
such a rush to be adults. There's such a rush to be your own person, all of these things. But really, you don't realize that there's a reason why sex isn't supposed to be for children. There's actually a reason. Like your body sometimes doesn't even understand what it's going through. Like sometimes there's like lines between like sexual abuse that you can't tell. There's a development in your brain that is required that actually supports the sexual experience to be be way better
Yeah.
than when you're a child and you have no idea what it is. I personally feel like if you choose not to have sex, I think that's admirable.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like not
great, yeah.
drinking. It's like if you don't drink, what?
Yeah,
it's that cultural thing, but really the truth is great.
Exactly.
Yeah, wait until you're ready.
I feel like if I could turn back time, I would have waited to have sex until like maybe I was in my 20s at least.
I feel like I probably wouldn't have waited. Just like I know where my mindset was and stuff around that time, and like that time was like the time you're having sex. But I would have had the sex with a different person.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's a person who definitely
okay,
deserved.
It's done. It's gone.
I love you. Come back.
You're never going to. You can't turn back time. Let it go.
All right. Yeah, I think that is what I would have definitely changed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, if you're watching this and you've not yet had that first sexual experience, I feel like this should be a point of like power is yours. The power is yours to determine what you want the sexual experience to be like. If you want to even have the sexual experience, if you want to wait until marriage, if you want to wait until whenever, it really is up to you. It really is up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we talk about sex a lot here, but please let it not now be like you're just trying to have it so that you can be able to relate to the things we're talking about. It's not a must.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not a must.
Okay, so my first one of the things I would say in preparation for having sex for the first time is knowledge. I guess one thing which I was armored in, which helped my situation, is that we were doing sex education since we were like 13. So by that time, it's like I knew the information about what's going to happen to my body, what's right, what isn't right, what kind of sexual transmitted diseases I could get. Like I was armored with so much information that when it did happen, I didn't feel so drowned by the experience. We did. Okay, yeah. Okay. I didn't feel so drowned with the experience. I felt like I felt a bit more, I felt a bit stable. Like I felt like, okay, I read about this. I know it's supposed, it was going to be painful. There was possibility that I was going to bleed. Like there were some things that made me feel like not so drowned, because it can be very overwhelming what your body feels after, like how you feel emotionally, and without that information it could be a problem. So I would definitely say that get the information.
Yeah, I really wish I had gotten that information. Of course, in Kenya, sex education is like zero.
Yeah.
Where are you even getting? And what you're hearing from your parents is just like, don't have sex.
Yeah.
So really, what is your benchmark? I remember before then I had watched like a bit of porn, like here and there. Of course, I used to masturbate because like now once you get to your teenage, it's just like everything is everywhere. So that was literally my reference point. I knew that like the penis goes into the vagina.
Yeah.
So I know the physical aspect of it. But I didn't know any information about like diseases. I didn't know information about like how to prepare, or something like this kind of conversation. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like something that could empower you. Even before you make the decision, you might feel like the information I have means that I don't want to have this with just like a random person or whatever. There's like so many things that like it could help. Personally, I feel like that changed my personal experience.
Your personal experience.
Yeah.
I would say also, if not if possible, the ideal situation is that you have sex with someone who you, if not love, at least like. And who, if he then loves you, at least likes you as a person. Like, let it not be some random person. And it's not like we're trying to police your sex life, but for a better experience, to have a good experience, at least let it be someone who cares about how you're feeling, who will be gentle, who is genuinely concerned about how the experience is making you feel. Because the first time can be very like, oh, stop, oh, this is painful, oh, can we try something different? And if it's someone who is just like impatient and just like, what's wrong with you? You can't just open your legs and we just finish. You don't need that.
It's gonna, and also that first experience could really change how you view sex.
Yeah,
it could change so much. It was like, I guess maybe us, we're just like a bit open. We're just like, we'll try. I'm sure it'll be different the next time, but not everyone is like that. It could really just stop you having sex. And you can share with us, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, what your experience is. How was your first time? Did you like it? What are some of the things that you could have done different? And so we can help the rest of the inbetweeners who are not. So that was the first thing on the list. Do it with someone you love.
Oh, great. I would say it could change. Like if it's a horrible experience, it can change how you view sex. It could also change how you view yourself. Because you can get into that space of just like, but all women seem to just be having sex. Look at the TMI girls, they're always having sex. How comes my body is the one which is not doing changing it. It could change also how you view men. If like you're with a partner who he's not caring about how you're feeling, he's too rough, he's too impatient or something like that, then now that's like a whole other now trauma bucket, as if you didn't get enough from your
I'm
dad.
telling you. Yeah.
And a whole other trauma bucket that you need to deal with. So you're trying to make the experience as pleasant as it possibly can be.
Yeah. My trauma came like afterwards, because I told you, it's like I was vibing with his friend, he was vibing with my friend.
Yeah.
Now what the hell is this crap that we've just done? Everyone it's like no one was anyone's anything, but it's like, what have we done? Then like you have to deal with all of those emotions and all of that. It was just rubbish.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
This is
not
why I
worth
really
it.
want to hear a story which is not messy. You know, it's like I just want to hear a very
Aggie can tell you a good one
pleasant
for sure.
one. Aggie,
Yeah.
please comment. We want to hear.
Yeah, comment.
Yeah.
Another thing is plan it beforehand, because this will get you mentally prepared.
Okay.
Nothing like us.
That's very unromantic. Plan it beforehand, but you need to.
Yeah, your
for the
first
time.
time.
Why are we shouting? But girl,
The
or
first
boy,
time,
you know,
it's
even
not
it
the
could be a
time.
king betweener watching and he's about to have sex for the first time.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Plan it.
Yep.
And king betweener, I know it's not supposed to be this way, but this is kind of how it is.
Yeah.
It's more you who's
Yeah.
like planning. If it's like both of you are losing your virginity at the same time, it's like how pretty it is, or making it all romantic. It's like she probably expects you to be the one who does it. It doesn't have to be that way. If it's at your house, girl, you do the prepping and make it look cute and pretty. And yeah, just be gentle with each other. I think the planning ahead would definitely help so many things.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say also, if it's your first time and let's say you're planning to do it, but for any reason, like on that night you decide that you're not ready, give yourself the grace, give yourself the
say you
bandwidth
don't.
to say no and to just like stop. Don't rush into it if you're feeling like, no, I'm not feeling. Oh, obviously there'll be a bit of like reluctance and like anxiety, but if you're just feeling like, no, I'm not ready, please don't now feel pressure at it because, oh, but he's already here. It's okay. He's not traveled from Mars.
Yeah. It's a really important
it's really
decision.
important. So give yourself the grace to be able to postpone it as often as whenever you want, and to actually do it on a day where you just feel like mentally and physically you're ready.
100%. Next one, don't be drunk.
Oh yeah, that was that was one of mine too. I was just like,
don't be drunk. There's too many things in that situation that need you to be as present as possible. Like, and also as we're saying, let's say if it's a situation where it's like you feel like someone is coming too much, that your boundaries are being disrespected. You're drunk. You're drunk. There's too many things going on.
Yeah.
I
definitely feel like
I wasn't drunk. No.
Yeah, me, I was wasted. Not just drunk. I was wasted. And I just, okay, I can't regret now because now we're already here where we are. But honestly, if I could take it back, I could. Actually, that's the definition of regret.
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like maybe if you need like a bit of liquid courage, you could have like one drink. Do you feel like
assuming
that?
you drink,
like one cider, assuming you drink, like if you have like one cider or you have like one shot or one whatever, but not more than that. Definitely
nothing
not
to
drunk.
stop you from being able to make informed decisions.
That's exactly what it is. It's the informed decisions part. It's like I need to be able to tell that you have said stop and you're
not
holding me
stopping.
tighter.
Yeah, I've said use a condom and you're not.
And you're not putting it on.
Now I don't know if did I use a condom? Jury's out. I'm not sure.
You're not even
I can't
sure.
remember.
But you weren't drunk. Oh, but you
I
just can't
wasn't.
remember the
I can't remember. Yeah. No,
yeah, but
I
you
can't
need to
remember.
be in your right frame of mind just so that you're able to. If it's supposed to be sim 1 only and now he's in sim 2 and it's your first
You
time.
see?
Now
and now you're so drunk, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, definitely no.
Yeah.
Please, remain at least in your frame of mind.
Yeah.
Another thing I would say is that you need to tell your partner that this is your first time having sex, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. And I know that men more often than not will not say that this is their first time, especially if like you imagine that she's experienced already, so she's had lots of sex. I guess a guy would just not say. And as a girl, maybe you don't want to seem like, oh, I'm a baby, he has to take care of me kind of thing, but you need to say, because the sex that you have on your first time is not the same as the sex of like,
no, this is not the one you want.
Exactly. I feel like it just helps them be prepared, so that if I keep saying like, oh, please stop, can we take a bit of a break, or something like that, it's like they understand and they're not thinking, oh, like, is it me, have I done something? They'll get it and they'll be able to take you slowly. If it's someone who actually likes you, someone who actually loves you, then they'll be able to take it slow. I'm just wondering, do you think more people right now have sex for the first time with someone who is their partner or who isn't their partner?
Isn't.
You think so?
By far.
You think so?
By far. Literally. By far.
So nothing has changed then. Because
I think it's getting worse. I feel like even in our age, I think we might have been like the more random ones. Yeah. I think we were more on the random
that's
side.
true. You're right.
But now it's like, oh, I had random sex with a stranger. It's like, oh, okay, that's a Friday.
I feel like it like the best case scenario. Obviously, this is me just like looking back now, being married and like being in a loving, healthy, happy relationship. But I wish that my virginity was broken when I was in a healthy, happy, loving relationship.
You mean
but
you wish you had sex for the first
sorry,
time?
I wish I had sex for the first
the
time.
breaking of virginity is
exactly.
very...
Sorry. It's so ingrained in my mind. But I wish I'd had sex for the first time with someone with whom it's like we are building a relationship. So we have more than just this sexual experience. It's like it counts for something.
For sure, even now, even without being married and I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Having had sex with people who care about me and love me and value me and want more beyond sex, that's an incredible experience. It feels so good. That's what you deserve.
That's what you deserve.
That's definitely what you deserve.
Wow. Yeah, there's someone who I think the oldest person I've seen message us about they have not yet had sex was like a 40-year-old or something that. I saw a 40-year-old and she was just like, she's had partners before, but she just never felt the freedom to have sex with them. And so she just hasn't. And like right now she's just single and she's just like, life is good. And she didn't know if she'll ever have sex.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I admire that. Yeah. Anything for me is just like, if anything that I'm not doing according to what is somehow what the culture says, I always want to know if it's my choice or if it's like a hindrance. Is it something that is stopping me? Is there something in me that's stopping me from doing that? But also, you don't have to ever have sex.
You
ever.
really don't.
And life goes on.
Yeah.
And life goes on for sure. The other day under the I knew the sex was great episode, someone posted that they were 32 and they're yet to have sex. And the way they talked about it was like a very fine way, and that's how it should be. Even in the comments, by the way, on YouTube, we try to keep them safe. So if you have a difference of opinion or if you have a different way of living, it's completely normal. Yeah. So, and because it was my age, I was like, oh, that's so interesting.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
All those
but
hours.
then sometimes I'm just like, wow,
all those hours. First of all, imagine all the hours you've had sex.
Oh, wow. Many hours.
Oh my God.
Very many hours.
At least 3 months straight. If we combine them
together,
at least 3
sexual
months.
experience, at least. We can even reach half a year. I mean, I don't know. We can actually even reach half a year. But you know what I feel? I also feel like if you don't have sex for the first time when you're in that very high peer pressure age, which is usually like 16 to 18, 19, if you don't fall during that season,
now it has to be someone serious.
Exactly. It's like now, it's just like now there's no peer pressure. So it's like if you don't want to, you're not going to. So I feel like as long as that early 20s or like before you get to 20, if you haven't, then later on, I feel like you're more likely to think through your decision. So there's a bit of a beauty about that. But also there's something that I imagine in my head if I was 32 and not yet had sex for the first time, I would also be like a reluctance to just be like, now you're older. So how many people your age, first of all, haven't had sex?
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like, what are you bringing to the table?
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
because what you feel do you feel like you bring more to the table because you've had sex?
No, I mean, but I bring more to the sexual table, yeah. If the table is sexual, the fact that I have experience, the fact that it's like something that I'm used to, the fact that, I mean, obviously, even someone having sex with you when you haven't had sex before,
maybe that could be something. No, but that could be something they see as
could
bringing
be something,
the table.
Exactly. But I'm just
like
thinking
no one
about
else has touched you before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just all me. It's
no,
all
no,
me.
no. Actually, no, I don't think I would like that because also, like, there's so much thinking around. Like now, it needs to be like a special person. It needs to be like a special thing. It needs to be like the perfect experience. If I've waited this long, is this worth, having sex for?
Funny enough, despite even how I had sex, I don't regret it. No, I don't regret it. I don't even think I necessarily feel like I wish I could go back. But like what I know is like I feel like I wasn't in my body in that, even in that decision making. I don't feel like it felt like it was my decision fully, or maybe I wasn't aware of what I was saying yes to, whatever the case may be. But I feel like no, I'm glad I've had sex. I'm glad I've had all of the sex that I've had.
I too am glad that I've had sex.
Yeah. Another one is don't use porn as a teaching tool. As we've said, there's inspo. There's inspo you get, right? But to put your own experience on the level of what porn looks like, You won't
Yeah.
be like, oh God, Dad.
Yeah.
You will not.
It would
will be
last
more,
an hour,
oh
30 minutes.
Father, dear God, what is this? It will be more towards that than, oh
true.
Daddy.
Yeah.
So that expectation that you're going to enjoy it so much. Or you
Mm.
know those like porn things where it's just like, oh, you know, Virgin gets trapped and Siju gets, and she's enjoying it day one.
Lies.
3 penises. Oh, okay.
Or two in the
Don't-
front, one in the back.
Two at the front, you think you're going to do no.
Ooh.
It's not going to be like that. It could be
Yeah.
enjoyable. I know people who enjoyed their first
Yeah,
experiences,
yeah.
but it's gonna be new. So your body is gonna be trying mostly to figure out what's going on with its body more than, oh wow, enjoying
Yeah,
it. Also, if you
exactly.
really enjoyed, like, oh Daddy, tell us. How was that?
Please tell us, because me, I would want to know.
Yeah.
Also, you guys are living in the age of Beducated, who I feel like we mention them a lot, even when it's not a sponsored
Yeah.
video. But I feel like there's no porn cannot be the reference point, as she said. At least on Beducated, you can see what to expect, and videos that are not porn, they are like actual real life of what you can expect to see and to feel. This one, of course, are bouncing for an hour and a half. It's just not realistic.
No, it's not.
It's really not realistic.
And it's too much pressure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
too much pressure.
if you've never seen the size of your man, Joe was saying
yeah,
this.
one of my points was like,
Yes.
can you try and like feel for it before the sexual encounter?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if like he's your man, or if it's like someone who you know, can you at least try and feel, so that you're not like setting yourself up for a tree,
Yeah.
and it's your first time.
Should have thought of that, mate.
Should have.
Should have thought that.
Yeah, because that can be tough.
Yeah,
But I
it
don't know if
can.
that's gonna make you now not do it, or it's just gonna mentally
For sure,
prepare
because you can't imagine what can go up there, because maybe at that age, putting up a tampon is like, oh my God. So then you're just like, if a tampon is feeling like this, everything is gonna feel too big.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe just try out. Maybe just
try out.
Just try out. I know there's this guy who I felt before. This was not about even my virginity. And it's like
Please, can you say the story so I too can
I
laugh?
was touching it, right? And I was just like, oh, I don't understand. Like, because maybe I've never seen one like that. And it was the ones which are like bent at the top, right? So me, I was just like,
I don't like those.
I was just like, what? First of all, I was confused. I was
Because you're just like, most of them are just straight.
I was just like, is it because of how his pants are? Like, I mean, I was so confused. But then the first time I saw, I was like, oh my God, it looks like a J.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe
I was like,
yeah,
no,
maybe on our
it's
page,
not for me.
Yeah, guys, if you follow our Instagram, we should share some like educational resources, like these things which show like pictures of different penises, because penises can all look different.
Yeah, we're going to
Vaginas
share this
too.
actually.
Yeah, we
when
should.
on the week of this episode
We'll
airing,
share.
we'll have educational
material
on
Yeah.
like what to expect as far as what, even for what's it, king between us, what vaginas look like, what penises look like, so that you
That's
know
it.
the world is out there.
And I know sometimes I feel like in this age of information, sometimes when you don't know something, you're hesitant to ask because like you don't want to seem like the dumb person. But by the way, imagine us, we're here. TMI is here for you.
Yeah,
we're here for
we're here
for you. And we want you to just be comfortable. Speaking of like penis size, I was the other day, I don't know if this is related, but anyway, I was speaking to Mukeni and she was talking about like babies and how babies come out. And for her, she just knows that everyone has a CS. She's just like, everyone has the baby cut out. So now I was just like, no, but for some people, they push it out. And she's like, out of where? I'm like, out of down there. She's like, where? She's like, how? Like, she asked how so many times.
Yeah.
She completely refused to believe that there's any possibility that a baby can come out of a vagina.
Oh, that's so interesting because she only knows your experience.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's so
And
interesting.
so to her, it's just like that. It's so small. There's no gaping hole there. So how can a whole baby come out of it? How?
I get it, Kenny. Even me.
You understand how?
How?
This whole head.
But do you know what?
Yeah.
There's so many ways that Kenny reminds me of me in her curiosity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I was exactly like that. Why?
I really want
how,
to know
what,
when,
super
how, whatever.
curious.
She's extremely curious. I
Yeah.
love it so much. Okay, now my point also was around what Lily has just said. It's like, because porn is not the reference point, and like the first experience might be painful, it might be uncomfortable. Don't discount sex as an activity based on your first experience,
because you will never have
you
it.
will never, because like the first time, it's similar to like the first time you ever get drunk and you're just like, I'm never drinking alcohol, until you learn that alcohol can be consumed in like moderate amounts and you can enjoy it and you can go home without being sloppy drunk. It's the same thing. It's like sex will not be necessarily amazing the first, maybe even the first 2 or 3 times for some people. Like sometimes it's not just the first one, but trust me, it's great. There's a reason why marriages end because of sex. There's a reason why countries literally go to war because of sex, of who is having sex with who. A lot happens because of sex, and that tells you it's
sex is
good.
amazing.
So don't discount it based on that first experience, because that's not representative of the activity.
It's absolutely not. I feel like the confusion for me is what I used. I was just like, I don't think it's going to be this confusing every single time. As I said, there was a sweetness I felt like somewhere amidst the pain. There was like a, oh, okay, I get it. Like, I get why the world is overpopulated. I get it.
Understand now.
I understand now. But yeah, it could really kind of change the way you see things, as Joe said, yourself, men, sex in general. But just pretend, like, ignore it. If it's great, hold on to it.
If it's great, hold on to it. I also feel like the sex I knew before I got to like my mid-20s had nothing to do with clitoral stimulation. I feel like I discovered that in like mid-20s. Before that, it was just like the basic foreplay that you would see, like, I don't know, in porn or whatever. In porn, by the way, you don't see that much like clitoral stimulation,
because porn is never really about the woman's pleasure.
It's never about the woman's pleasure. Like, so for me, that just didn't exist as like an option until like much later on, and I really wish that it had.
I know what you mean.
It's like more just like foreplay-ish kind of, which
foreplay wasn't respected as much.
Really
it wasn't respected as much.
Please,
and then back then, even like when I was 18, when I was in a relationship, it's like giving head was just like such a no, like you don't do it, you know, whatever. So we really suffered, guys. Your generation, you're living life.
I'm telling you, we went through a lot.
We went through too much.
Hey,
yeah, we did. So that the next one was actually foreplay is a must. You want to, number one, feel relaxed. Like physically, you want to feel relaxed. Mentally, you want your body to be lubricated as a lady. You want to make sure you're rock hard as a guy, so that the experience is like as nice as possible. So foreplay goes without saying. If you need to lube, because not everyone is able to relax, because honestly, just like the daunting experience of, first of all, the way being a virgin is branded, like the toxicity of purity culture, all of these things, like it could be a loaded experience for you. It might not just be, I'm gonna have sex and I'm gonna be normal. Some people feel like they're gonna be fundamentally different. They won't know who they are after they have sex. And if you do have the idea that, you know, you want to be pure, whatever the case may be, and that's what you've been taught, the idea of being not pure thereafter could be too much on you, and literally you can't even get wet.
Honestly,
you can't. There's so much that comes with that.
I would also love to hear from someone who them and their partner waited until marriage to have sex.
Oh my God.
I would really want to hear. I know a few couples who did wait,
How
but
was
they're
it?
not the ones who, they don't speak. They're not the stalkers kind of. People are keeping these experiences to themselves. But me, I would really want to hear, like, was it good now at that time? Because, like, okay, even if you're deep in purity culture, now you're married or you're in the married place.
It's true. That's still going to be
and
something.
Now, exactly. But, like, now, since you don't have to hold on to how you're going to feel afterwards, like, now you're expected to have sex. I just wonder what it's like. And it's like, did you know his size before? Did you not know?
What are you guys making out?
That's the thing. I would just really want to know.
For me, that's unimaginable.
I also can't. And then you end up now
even a relationship. Forget a marriage. A relationship, and I haven't had sex with you. But I did that once. Yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah, it was fine. But it's like, then it was more because of like, oh, you know, I'm not having sex with you until you cuff me. Damn, it's you who's stopping yourself. It's you who's stopping yourself from enjoying that D. Then you go there. It's a J. Utadu? It's a J.
The D is now a J.
It's a J. Now what?
Please stop. But also, it's like, now you've already said yes to be his girlfriend, and then the sex was horrible.
See,
now what are we doing?
Now you're working on it. But if you had sex before, you won't be working on it. It would be like, this is not working for me. I'm out.
I know. But don't get us wrong. We're not trying to say that everyone should have sex.
No,
this is our
don't have sex.
Preference.
For me, it's unimaginable because sex is a big part of like relationships.
Yeah. I'm thinking of some of the men that I dated before Zach. Like, if I had married them and then we're having sex, like, what? No.
And that's you.
And that's me now.
You're
for the rest of
you're
my
the
life,
dilemma.
I'm in the dilemma. TMI talk. Please post this hide ID. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to. But yeah, on that point of the lube, I would say also have like wipes, tissue. I mean,
Prep.
especially if you're like in a place which is unfamiliar, if let's say it's an Airbnb or whatever, definitely have prep. As she said, sometimes there can be a gush of water, sometimes there can be blood. Have like a tissue. If there's access to a shower, you need to have that. Like first time sex is not the kind which at the quickie in a wardrobe and someone's mom is about to get home from work.
Yeah.
Really, that's not it.
Make sure you're alone.
Yeah, make sure you are alone.
Make sure you're alone. That's
Actually,
another
yeah.
one. Like have everything set that you're going to be alone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess goes without. Okay, this is one. Actually, no. Let me tell you how I felt physically. Is like it felt like afterwards. It felt like burning, like a soreness. Like I can't explain. So maybe expect that you're going to feel. Your body doesn't know what just happened. It's never done it before.
It's a strange sensation for sure.
Strange sensation. And at first I was like, oh my God, is this normal? You're going to freak out a bit because you don't know if it's normal because no one has ever told you how it felt like. We are telling you that there's going to be some kind of, like a soreness that you're going to experience.
But also that also depends on the size of this man.
Right. Yeah.
Because if it's very small, then you might not feel that soreness. But if it's very big, then you will definitely feel the soreness.
Yeah.
Definitely have the lubrication just in case. Like
Just in
definitely have it. If you are king betweener or queen betweener, wherever you are, carry the lube.
It's true. Another one, keep it simple. I know you've seen Morugi and
I wrote
Lydia.
no acrobatics.
Yeah. Lydia and Morugi talk about wheelbarrow. Sijui reverse cowgirl. Sijui on top of where.
Sim
Not for you, Mary. Okay?
Not for you,
You
Siri.
need to start with a good old missionary.
Missionary. That's it.
Cheap.
You can be Lady Danbury for that
For
first
that experience,
we are allowing it.
lay on your back and just
don't
ride it out. Because when you start doing acrobatics, if you feel comfortable and you start go for it.
Yeah.
But that is not the expectation. That is not the bar. That is not the pressure you're trying to give it on yourself. A good old missionary and done. Cuddle for the night.
That's
give it a week.
Yeah. Give it a week, please. Just actually, yeah.
Yeah. My friend who lost her virginity to a boyfriend who she really cared about, like it was a great relationship, yeah. They had like full sex. Yeah.
Like
it was
bouncing
like
up and down,
proper
whatever.
sex. Yeah.
Okay, so you see this whole construct of virginity and hymen and whatnot. You see, that's the debate is like, is there actually a hymen? Is there something that actually breaks? Because a lot of people say that like even riding a horse
Could
it can
break
break
it,
or
yeah,
whatever.
bike.
So maybe you were like open
Already.
or maybe you have been masturbating with like a huge ass dildo.
First of all, if you've been dildoing, you're definitely out.
Yeah, then you're exactly, so you're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna hurt you that much.
Yeah, so it depending on the experience that you've had, keep it simple. No acrobatics.
Definitely.
Just be gentle with yourself.
No acrobatics. Don't go on top. That's what I can tell you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like on top there's more pressure and there's like it just requires a
It's
certain
more
amount
up
of
there.
it's imeingia. Yeah, that's one we can say for sure. One of the points that I had written, and I don't maybe you can expound because me I don't know what I meant, but I wrote do it for the right reasons.
Right. Unlike us.
Unlike us.
Everything we said today, unlike
us, basically. I'm just like, don't do it just because everyone in your friendship group has had sex. Don't do it because your partner keeps pressuring you and saying that he'll leave you or he'll cheat on you if you don't have sex. Don't do it because you're just horny and just like, any Tom, Dick, and Harry who's around, you're gonna do it. Those for me sound like wrong reasons.
I think so. Like anything that isn't centered in I genuinely want to do this, I feel like it's going to be problematic.
Yeah.
What was my reasons? I think at the time I was in my friendship group, I was actually the last to lose my virginity.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And you came in with a bang with a criminal. You came in with a bang. Well done.
I think, yeah. So I feel like there was an element which was just like, it's time.
Yeah.
But it's time for who? It's like maybe I did it because everyone else has done it. So why not?
Exactly.
As opposed to really like, do I want to do it? Because I'm not particularly sure I wanted to do it. And by the way, even before this experience, there was other guys who were saying, I don't want to have sex. Like I want to be in a relationship or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it kind of felt like it was this thing which was so big, and I almost felt like, can you just get it out of the way, and now it doesn't
Stop
have to be a
stressing
thing.
about
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how painful will it be when it happens, or how whatever. Kind of like when you're going waxing for the first time, it's like, okay, fine, now just do it. I've closed my eyes, just do it, and let's finish. Kind of thing. I feel like for me, that's what it was.
I get it.
Yeah.
There is too much that goes into that whole virginity, who you are, what you're going to be, what it means, da 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 da. There's too much. Like,
Yeah.
let's just chill on all of that. Everyone's going to have sex when they feel like they want to have sex.
Exactly.
And as far as having sex for the wrong reasons, him wanting to have sex and you not wanting, that's a bad.
That's not a good reason.
If somebody is not willing to wait for you, then just don't do it.
Yeah, just
don't do it.
Absolutely.
Because if that's somebody who wants to be with you and you guys are at that age where it's just like you're not ready but he is, and to him it doesn't matter, that's already a red flag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also want to say that there are a lot of people who have sex and then decide to practice secondary virginity, and I feel like that's also 100% okay. Some people just make like you make what you feel is the wrong decision. There's no universal wrong decision to do anything except like murder people. I guess that's universally a wrong decision. It's not good.
Yeah.
We would not recommend. But like, you can decide to do that. So it's not like now once you've done it, now forever for the rest of your life, now you must just be a hoe and just like go and fuck everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like you can decide to do that. Also, I feel like it's important for women to know that nothing really changes about you as a woman once you've had sex. It's just like the person you are before is just the exact same person you are after.
Yeah.
You still have the exact same value. You are still amazing. You are still worth marrying. You are still like, you can still demand whatever high standards you want in a relationship or in a marriage, because some people will try and tell you, but you've already had sex with how many
Those are
men
idiots.
or whatever. They are
Those
idiots.
are buffoons.
Yeah. But and yet when
Buffoons.
it's a man, it's like, hey, Sawa, this guy's been with so many women. But for you as a woman, you've been with so many men. Oh my God. No.
Yeah.
Literally nothing changes except like physically. It's like you'll
You've
have those
experienced
feelings.
something that you hadn't before.
That's the thing. But
Yeah.
that's it. And it doesn't have to have more meaning than what you want it to be. It can mean exactly what you want it to be. If you want it to mean nothing, it can also mean nothing.
Yeah.
If you want it to be like, this is a huge thing that me and my partner have shared and it's sacred and special, you can also do that.
Yeah.
There are actually no rules, by the way, when it comes to sex.
They aren't.
There are actually no rules.
And actually, what is going to change so much about how you experience it is what you are making it mean.
Exactly.
More than anything else. More than it. Because really, truly, if we removed all the meaning, two people had sex, that's all that happened.
Yeah.
It's all the other stuff that you add. And it's okay to add it, but just be conscious of it and have the narrative be one which empowers you.
Exactly.
Not one that doesn't.
Not one that doesn't.
Yeah.
And I've had some people saying that, like, after they had sex for the first time, they would walk around feeling like, I feel like everyone can tell that I've had sex, kind of thing. It's like everybody can see. My mom can see. My sisters can see. Like, they just feel different. But please, nobody can tell. Nobody can tell. No one can tell.
We've touched on
Nobody
this
can
one like
see.
the entire time like we've been talking, but an obvious one is communicate. As Joe said, definitely tell your partner what's working during the situation, what's feeling good, what's not, what fears you have, why you're worried about this. Communicate literally the entire time, even afterwards.
Yep.
Whatever it is that you're feeling. Oh, sorry, we got it.
It's
this
good.
boob.
It's good. It's actually held pretty well.
It's held
I was
together.
hoping for a little something, but no.
My boob is on the edge, guys. The boob is on the edge, but well done,
It
girlie.
hears us talk about sex once. Nataka kutoka.
Here it is.
Seriously.
Yeah, so there's what was I saying?
Tell your boyfriend, like, communicate with him.
Communicate
tell him,
throughout, even afterwards. If you have worries like, oh, I feel like, oh, this has changed things with us, whatever, talk with them out as much as possible, because when you let some of those insecurity foster, now that's a thing. Now it's
Exactly.
changed everything, and really it was never really meant to be that way.
Yeah, but again, that only works if you're actually having sex with people who like you.
We are hoping,
And
as
we
we've
are
said,
hoping. We are really
as
hoping.
we said,
Yeah.
at least have sex with people who are, if you can, have it in a committed relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to hearing you guys' comments and like good things about the questions about this. Like, I want to hear from people who have not yet had sex, and like any fears you have, any reservations, any questions you have for us, for people who want to share their first time experiences. Like, that in itself could be a whole episode if you guys would like to hear other people's first time experiences. I feel like that could be interesting, and maybe answering some more questions that you guys have about sexual experiences. So please do talk to us. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can DM us on Instagram, because we will definitely see it on TMI Podcast KE or Murugi Munyi or Litya KM.
Absolutely. This episode has made me like it's made me think about who I was at that time. You know, it's like just like kind of scared, unsure of herself, like insecure, you know, like so making those decisions from that place was never really going to bear any fruits that were positive, you know. But you guys have so much information about like traumas, insecurities, therapy, all of so
Everything.
much.
Yeah.
Use this information because it could change so many of your experiences. But as I said, when I look back, a lot of the times I feel like my life has just been a collection of picking up the things which I need to know and unlearning the things I don't, so that I can really be in this place where if you don't like me, if you don't respect me, if you're not for me, you're not even putting hands on me, you know. It's like I feel like I've built this for myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't born with it, and it kind of feels good.
I love
that
that.
I'm here.
Yeah. When I'm like, why had TMI not started when Joanne was 15 years old?
My God.
And episodes like this really, really just affirm my belief in what we do.
I'm telling
because
you.
I love this for a 17, 18-year-old somewhere who is watching. And now you're like, I was going to just have sex with my boyfriend just because he's been begging me to, but I don't really want to. Please. Don't if you don't want to. Do if you want to.
Yes.
Don't if you don't
Life
want to.
is so long. The amount of sex you're going to have, don't rush it in the first time. Don't. There's plenty of time. We're in our 30s. There's plenty.
Actually, I
of
love
time.
to think that even my best sex is still ahead of me.
Oh, for sure.
I'm just
the
like,
best of life is
the
absolutely
best of life is ahead of us.
Ahead
Yeah,
of us, for
exactly.
sure. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Make sure you are subscribed whether you are listening to us. I know sometimes our listeners, it sounds like we are leaving you out,
it's like
but we know you're there.
Yeah.
We see you. We love you. We appreciate you. We see the subscribers even on those platforms, and we are here. It's just because we do video, a lot of some things are just for video.
And we are talking to a camera.
We are talking to a camera. That's why. But we hear you. We appreciate you. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, at this point, you're just being rude. You're just being rude, to be honest. So until next episode, we'll see you guys. Bye.